Howdy ho, adventure goers. We're still on Christmas leave, just hanging out. I was talking with my buddy about, wastegates and stuff. Almost swore. And we were talking about wastegate sizes, and for him, and he wanted this large wastegate and stuff. And I just wanted to make a quick video on, wastegate sizes and for your application. And for the most part, this will be pretty short because it's not a lot. So if you're running a stock block, stock internals, and you're going to be running like 5, 10, maybe 15-ish PSI or so, that's still considered pretty lowish, I think. You're actually going to want the larger wastegate. And it's funny because most people think they're going for 15, 2,000, or even 1,200 horsepower, and they're going to need the largest wastegate they have because, bigger is always better, right? But it's not. So, and my point is when you're running forged internals and a built block and stuff like that, you actually don't need the wastegate, the largest wastegate they sell, for that fact is you're not trying to bypass as much exhaust gases because you're going to be running that through the turbine to create the extra boost to power your forged internal, built block. So I just want to put this out there because, I get a lot of questions from my friends and stuff when they're doing their builds and thinking them up is that, like injectors and fuel pump, you want the biggest thing possible that is going to give you, all your fuel and pressure that you need, but that's not the case for a wastegate. So you want to kind of dig into it, and also, like, I would like just enough wastegate to be able to hit my boost pressure that I'm targeting, and then when I'm actually going through my rev range, I want my boost to come right up above target and then dip down and hit target. I don't want something that's creeping. No, not creeping, that's a bad word. I don't want something that's coming up to boost and then just hitting my target and then leveling off. I want a spike in energy, hit, and then the wastegates control it, bring it back down into target, and then you tune from there on that target PSI. So really it's finding just enough wastegate for you, because I want to pack all that energy in that manifold that I can, and all that energy is hot exhaust gases and back pressure to push through the turbine to energize it as fast as possible. And that's the idea behind not getting the largest wastegate you can, because you're getting a big turbo kit, or you want to grow into a kit or something like that, especially when it's not that hard to just put on a different wastegate, especially if you're going to have it for a couple years or so, or it just barely works, and it's good for you for the time being. I also disclaimer about this is if you have too big of a turbo as well, you're never going to make the, I'd say, excitement or the pressure spike like you want if you don't have a properly sized turbo. So it also goes into your end goal and where you want to, I guess, operate at, and how you want it to react. Like you can see plenty of videos where Richard Holdner is talking about one-to-one ratios with back pressure and boost and stuff like that, and how much you want, because if you have too big of a turbo, you're never going to make the boost pressure that you want anyways, because no matter how small your wastegate is, it's gonna, well, for the most part, you want it to go through the turbine, but you also want that flow through the turbine as well, because you don't want it backing up too much. You want it to be able to flow out and also power your compressor side. So there's some theory that goes into that, as well as how fast you can get that turbine excited, whether it's transient response or whatever the technical term is. But I'm just saying, as far as managing your boost, having it come up as fast as possible, and then also being able to manage it the way with the wastegate, how it's set up to be, how it's designed to be, and bypassing the rest of the exhaust gases that you want. I remember on my first turbo kit, I picked up, I think, about 40 wheel horsepower, because I had a twin scroll that was recirculated right back into the downstream. And what I found is if I cut the recirculation off and I patched the downpipe, all that extra exhaust gases that were being entered into the downpipe, where the flow of the rest of the engine going through the turbine wanted to get out and flow out and be free, the recirculated gases were backing up the exhaust. So what I did is that recirculated pipe just went down, out and out, and then the rest of the exhaust gases that went through the turbine went through the downpipe and then out the single exhaust. I picked up 40 wheel horsepower just off of that. We didn't change the boost pressure. We didn't change anything. I think, if anything, it actually went down in boost because the exhaust gases were flowing through it even better. I probably lost like a half pound. And that's all. That just ties into overlap theory and scavenging, or not really scavenging, but overlap, where the boost is trying to escape, that's already expelled, and the exhaust gases are still trapped in the downpipe and the exhaust, and it's just creating more of a boost pressure inside of the combustion chamber and so on while you're going forward throughout everything. But I want to keep this simple and to the fact about just about wastegates and stuff. But if you want, read up more on like turbo sizes and stuff like that through Richard's videos. But I keep getting, I don't think he's covered this before, but I keep getting questions about wastegate sizes and stuff like that. So I wish I had the means to be able to do a bunch of different experiments like that, but the common information that I found and researched was that, you know, bigger wastegates for less boost and, you know, a properly sized turbo, you'd have to bypass those gases even more. So keeping it simple and to the point though. Catch you guys all later. Same thing. Have a good one. I hope you all had a good, happy holidays. If you celebrate, I did. I'm down visiting in Texas right now. I'll be back in Kansas in a couple weeks. But stay hungry and keep working on your goals. And we'll see you again next time. Deuces.